Welcome to Voices of the District. District 46 is the economic and cultural hub of our city. I am Andrea Hunley. I've spent the past 2 decades cultivating collaborative relationships across a variety of sectors in our city because I know we are truly stronger together. Join me in getting to know the people that make our city special. Join me in listening to the Voices of the District. Today, I have with us Esteban. Esteban and I were at Ben Davis High School at the same time.
Yeah.
And we recently reconnected actually through a tragedy. One of Esteban's friends and a former student of mine was just recently killed in our city. And so we reconnected at his funeral. And being there, I think funerals are always a time of reflection. And being there really did remind me of the importance of creating connections with our young people. And yes, I still consider you all young people, even though you are now in your 30s, but creating those connections with our young people and making sure that you all have the opportunity to live out and fulfill your dreams.
Absolutely.
Yes. And so welcome again. And just tell us a little bit about what's keeping you busy right now in the city of Indianapolis.
So there's actually a few things that are keeping me busy. So just to let you know, I am in the union apprenticeship. It's a 5-year program, so keeps me busy between having to go to work so you can get your OJT hours as well as the school work. It's a very rigorous program right now. I'm in one of the tougher semesters, the 3-2. So I have that going. A lot of studying. The book is pretty thick.
Oh my goodness.
And then after that with work right now, I'm working at the steel mill plant out in Crawfordsville, Indiana. It's pretty safe and it's a good environment. And I feel like a part of that is because, the unions and stuff, they want the biggest thing for them is to make sure that you make it home safely to your family. So it's a pretty safe place. And then the other thing besides that is track and field season is actually starting for the middle school. So we actually have our first practice today. So it's kind of exciting.
Yes. And so what are you doing with the track and field team?
Well, right now it's going to be more of we're going to build a base for it right now. Let them know okay, welcome. This is the first day. This is the structure we have here. And, hopefully we keep this structure and we win, because I feel like when I go in there, it's more about just coaching the sport. It's about coaching and mentoring these kids so that, maybe they don't have nobody to talk to. Maybe sports is their outlet. So if they need to talk to somebody, hopefully they'll feel safe to talk to me about something going on. So the way I look at it is not just coaching a sport, it's coaching them and how to live fulfilling lives, be able to talk about things, because a lot of kids, sometimes they don't have nobody to talk to. So I feel like if I can be that person to make that difference, I'd gladly be that person for them.
I'm so proud of all the work that you're doing. And so talk to us again about this union apprenticeship and explain to us what is an apprenticeship program and then what are you hoping to get at the end of your 5 years?
So what the apprenticeship program is it's a program to fine tune your skills to become the best electrician that you can. So for example, for my program, I'm at Local 481. It's a 5-year program, and with the 5-year program, you go in and you start off with a very competitive salary. I think right now our pay is about $16, and that's just starting off. And then what you don't see is maybe another $4 that go into you're already starting a pension plan. It's nice. Because you are starting off, it's just 50 cents, but hey, that adds up. And the nice thing about the apprenticeship is as long as you're going and doing what you need to do, every year you're getting a pay raise. Every year you're getting the big increase in your benefits. For example, for me right now as a 3-2, that means I'm in my 3rd year, 2nd semester. Once I'm done with this semester, we jump up to the next semester. And because it's a next year increment, I get another pay raise. I get another increase in my benefits package. So it does take 5 years, but at the same time, the great things about it is during that 5 years, I'm working the whole time. I don't have to worry about, once I'm done with this program, I have to pay all these school loans back. So that's pretty nice. And then there's a lot of guys in there too who have gone to other colleges like Ball State, IUPUI, Purdue. And it's actually funny because some of them actually have bachelors. Mm-hmm. Like I ran into a guy at the job site who, he's pretty much a lawyer. He just hasn't taken his bar exam.
Wow.
So we bring in a lot of people from different backgrounds, and it's kind of nice because let's say you are in debt, technically because you're in school for 5 years, all your stuff gets deferred for 5 years as well. Nice. It kind of helps you a little bit with that.
So then do you take classes at Ivy Tech as well, or do you have classes in another place as well, or only at the with the union?
Well, I'm glad you actually brought that up because so with the apprenticeship program,
mm-hmm.
a nice thing about what we do here is we are forced to, I wouldn't say forced, mm-hmm. but we're given the opportunity to take classes at Ivy Tech with our program, because what that does for us, now once we're done, we're not only journeyman electricians, we also take some Ivy Tech classes, so that way when we do graduate, we also get our associate's degree.
That's great.
From Ivy Tech. So it's
with no student loan debt. And I'm going to tell you, I'm jealous of that because I still have a lot of money in student loan debt that I'll be paying off for at least the next few years.
Yeah, I do too. So I'm just kind of glad, like, I wish I had known about this earlier.
Yes. Well, I'm so glad that you're doing that. So tell us, though, when you think about the folks who you're working with, when you think about your friends in the city, what are your biggest concerns for people in your age group and for people that you are connected with?
I think the biggest concern in my age group is right now, I would say just kind of trying to stay afloat, really. There's I know a couple of friends of mine who's like, we're trying to find homes to live in. Mm-hmm. And with the housing market as it is, it's kind of, our focus is how do we set up so we can have a house, because nobody wants to live in an apartment the whole time. Eventually they're going to want a house or something. Mm-hmm. So that's one of our bigger concerns.
And that affordable housing is challenging.
Absolutely.
I mean, it is, especially if you're on a single income and you want to make sure that you can afford a place that you'll be, proud to call home.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's becoming harder and harder in our city. You're absolutely right. That's something that I care deeply about and do a lot of research on, how we can make sure that we're solving for that. And then not displacing people that already have homes, mm-hmm. But whose communities are changing and property taxes are rising. So it's kind of both ends of that spectrum. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know my parents, they have a few properties, mm-hmm. and it's funny because when they first bought it, maybe it was about $30,000, and now you check the value for it, maybe a few years later, and it's already up to like $120,000. Yes. It's just like, okay, and I'm supposed to afford a house with these types of changes in the community. I'm just like, man, I can find one. It's gonna be tough though, and then what happens when the housing market goes down? So the house that I bought for $90,000, now it drops all the way down to $60,000. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to get back what I wanted.
Yes. So we have to look for stability too in that market. Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely hear that concern. So now on the other side, when you think about what's giving you hope right now, what's giving mm-hmm. you hope now for your future and for the future of your friends?
Well, I think for me personally, I know my hope is I feel like I'm in a good position with my apprenticeship. I'm in my third year. I'm going to get that pay raise. After that, one more year, another pay raise. And then after that, I'm going to be done. And I know with the apprenticeship, it does give me hope. I feel like it's stability, stable work with unions. If the work here in Indiana is drying up, per se, I can always have the option as a journeyman just to look at other states and be like, okay, what other local unions there have work available? And I sign the book, and then they give me the call like, hey, mm-hmm. we would like you to work for us. So the union is everywhere, mm-hmm. from all the way from New York to California, Texas, Detroit. It's everywhere.
So you're really creating this like option for yourself, which is great.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you what, that's also giving me hope right now, because as a school principal, I have to oversee, the facilities of our entire building, our like 45,000 square foot building, making sure that we're up and operating every single day. And we can't hire people on the facilities management team fast enough. And we need electricians, we need plumbers, we need painters, we need carpenters, we need all those folks to help keep our buildings running. And so it gives me hope that folks like you are jumping in, because I would love to see you, walking in my halls, helping us out as well. So I'm excited that folks like you are taking on the apprenticeship programs with our unions. It's so important.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad that you say that too, because, talking about you have this big facility that you have to, look over. Now, if I had been given the opportunity or the knowledge to know about an apprenticeship program, I definitely would have taken that straight from high school, because I feel like in a non-union environment, you're always given those things to talk about, things you can't talk about. Hey, you cannot talk about pay. And I feel like the reason behind that is because they like to take advantage of people. But as a high school student, you don't know that.
You don't know.
Nobody gives you that information.
Yeah.
Whereas,
and I'm a proud union gal as well. So I'm part of the National Education Association, so that national union. And I think one of the things I encourage all the people on my staff to be either in AFSCME or whether they're eligible for the teachers union, because we know that unions protect women and they protect people of color, and they make sure that we earn a living wage, and that we know that folks who are in unions on average earn more than people who aren't, as well. And then, as you mentioned, great healthcare and making sure that we get home safely to our families, which at the end of the day, like, that's the most important thing for me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like I believe the pay scale for union versus non-union, I like to think of it as a pyramid. So as an apprentice, like I said, everybody starts at a nice competitive wage down here, and then everybody slowly starts to work their way up to the journeyman. And then once everybody finishes or completes the program, everybody's up here. Whereas non-union is more of everybody starts here, and there's very select few people who make it to the top, who make a nice livable wage, where everybody in the union, once we top out, we're all going to make the same, because we've all had the same education. Nobody's playing favorites. It's just a nice, fair place for everybody to be, and not really be really discriminated against and base their pay off of that. They pay you for the skills that they know that you've learned throughout your apprenticeship.
Yes, and we need those equitable work environments. Well, I really appreciate your taking time to come here today and to talk with me and to share all of the great work that you're doing. I just keep getting excited to see what it is that you're going to do next. The students that you're impacting, the work that you're doing for our community, the work that you're doing to live out your own dreams. I'm really, really proud, and I'm so glad that you came today.
Thank you.
So my final question for you is, why Andrea Hunley? Why are you helping to support my journey to the Indiana State Senate, and why are you, proud to support me in my next journey?
Well, I believe I love the fact that we both have this passion for education. We think about the youth. For example, I'm here coaching the 7th graders and the 8th graders, and like I said, I'm coaching them not just to be good athletes, but to be good students, to be good people. And I believe you have those same core values. I love the fact that you're pro-union, because a lot of people, you talk to them about unions, and they'll just give you all the negative things about it because they're misinformed, because a lot of people aren't really educated to understand that, hey, you know what? These 40-hour weeks, these paid vacation, this time off, all because of unions. The unions fought for those, and they don't understand that. But the fact that you understand that and you can spread that knowledge around, how could I not support you? That's the better question. How could I not support you?
Well, that's a perfect note to end on. Thank you, Esteban, so much. And thanks, everyone, for joining us today. This has been Voices of the District.